Hey ho, let's go. This is my first video in English because I want to spread this knowledge for all over the world, right? Actually, this knowledge that I want to share, it's too much important to be contained only in Portuguese language. So I'm doing this video so everyone in the world can watch and be aware of this. What I have to say is there is no virus. I'm not talking about the coronavirus. I'm talking about every kind of virus. I'm talking about the coronavirus, the measles virus, the AIDS virus. All of this is a big hoax. This is one of the biggest hoax of all time. And I started to research this with the beginning of this pandemic. It was clear to me that was an orchestrated event to implement a dictatorship, the New World Order. But at that time, I believed in virus because they indoctrinated us since childhood, since the beginning of the pharmaceutical industries, the medical industries. So we are led to believe that virus is something that exists. But I began to research, and I arrived at this statement. We have to go back in the Louis Pasteur epoch and Béchamp. So there's a book called Béchamp or Pasteur, a lost chapter in the history of biology. The author is Ethel Douglas Hume. And I begin to realize that Louis Pasteur actually was a charlatan, and Béchamp was the real biologist. This elite that controls us, they have some techniques to implement the kind of information they want us to believe. So they hire authors, they hired scientists, they have all the secret societies in their hands, they own everyone in many institutes around the world. So Louis Pasteur was one of these characters in the history that implement some false knowledge to the society. What was the reason that Louis Pasteur created the germ theory? This germ theory says that something outside our world can infect us and make us ill. But I realized that is a bullshit, that is a lie. And Béchamp talked about terrain theory, like our body is our terrain and we have to take care of our terrain so the disease come inside out. If we don't eat properly, if we have a bad life, we acidific our body, so disease can start to occur inside of us. And Béchamp discovered this small particle inside our body that he called the microzymes, and other scientists call this tiny particle the somatids. This somatids, it's in our blood, in our veins. This somatids, it's like the source of life. It's the building blocks. That somatid, it's what become the fungi and the bacteria inside our bodies. This somatids has a cycle that when our body begin to become acid, they start to become this fungi or bacteria to heal us. So this is the source of life that actually heals us. And the cancer, for example, it's not a bad thing. Actually, the cancer is the healing process of our body. So everything that we know about diseases are wrong. This is actually a title of an excellent book. The title of the book is What Really Makes You Ill, and the subtitle is Why Everything You Thought You Know About Disease Is Wrong. And the authors are Don Lester and David Parker. Yeah, you have to enter the rabbit hole and you never came out again. I am telling you this, you don't have to believe me, you just have to do your own research. But this information is too precious, and I am not seeing many people talking about this, because there are a lot of people that are awake in this pandemic, but they still believe in the virus. So we have to cut in the root, and the root is there is no virus. There is no fucking virus at all. We have been lied to our entire life. AIDS is a myth too, and there are a lot of books about this. What really killed those people in the AIDS era? It was the drug that they tells us healed these patients. AIDS actually is the deficiency in the immune system. That's what means AIDS. And they say that it was a virus that you can get making sex. This is a bullshit. This doesn't exist. So they start to treat the patients with the AZT. AZT was an antibiotic that was kind of chemotherapeutic antibiotic. It was a very strong drug. And when someone who has weak immune system take this drug, they die in a couple of weeks. This high rate of dead people, most of homosexuals, it was because their terrain was terrible because of drugs and alcohol and promiscuous sex life. And they took many hepatitis vaccines too. One of the strategies that the elite use is to contaminate people through the vaccines. So these hepatitis vaccines had some genetic material to even weaken their immune system. The same thing they did in Africa. They get the vaccine to Africa and they get another high rate of death. So as you can see, they cheated us with everything. The rule number one to be aware of the lies. What they tells us in the media, in the mainstream, in the normal way of teaching in the schools and the news, everything, like 98% of this is a lie. You have to switch to discover the truth. We have been living in the upside world, the Luciferian world, because Lucifer wants to be like God, so he imitates God, but in a upside world. So we have to be aware of this false knowledge. We have to unlearn, like Yoda says to Luke Skywalker, we have to unlearn what we have learned first. We have to take the lies of our life so we can really empty our mind and free our mind, so we can grasp the truth, so we can see clearly what is the truth and what is a lie. We have been conditioned our entire life and it's not easy. So I don't judge you if you are seeing this video and thinking that I'm crazy, lunatic and whatever. I don't care. I just have to do my work, that is research. I research for me to understand the universe. I want to seek the truth, but my work is to pass what I know, what I think is the truth. I'm not the owner of the truth, but as I speak now, I speak what I think is the truth. I learn more. Everyone learns every day. We don't stop learning. Never, never, never. So getting back to the germ theory, from the base of the germ theory, they started to present this science of the vaccines. And inside the vaccines, there's a lot of problems. There is genetic material of aborted fetus of human beings. There is genetic material of animals. There is chemicals that are terrible for our brain, mostly goes directly to our brains, and this is accumulating over the years, so causes dementia to old people, and also cause problems in the children, skin reactions and even mental problems. And so they started to call these mental problems autism. That's why they have many degrees of autism. So here's a list of some books from the myth of AIDS. I will put in the link description some books for you to search. For my research, I see that the most famous author is Peter Duesberg. And Stephen Lanka quoted his work, and Stephen Lanka is one of the most important scientists in our days. He advocates about this virus myth. His work is impressive, and you can research for him, Stephen Lanka. You can research the work of Andy Kaufman also. He advocates that the image of the virus they shows us, it's something like that ball with the spikes. But the problem is the real photo of the virus, the real one, because every other, it's an image, it's a drawing, it's a CGI. The only real photo of the virus, of the supposed virus, it's actually an exosome. And an exosome is something that our body produces naturally. It's a carrier of genetic material that our body produces to one cell sent to another part of our body, so our body can communicate what disease we have in our body. So they took this exosomes, took the picture and say there's a virus. It's a hoax. There is no virus. Our body is perfect. It's a machine that is perfect. Nothing from outside can infect us. Contagion is a hoax. God is perfect. His creation is perfect. We only get ill from inside out. That's why it's important for us to take care of our body, to eat properly, fruits, vegetables, get plenty of sun, drink water, breathe. Oxygen is the most important thing to our body, more important than water and more important than food. We can be without food for 30 days, 40 days. We can be without water for 10 days, but we can be without oxygen for 2 minutes. Intracellular level, we need oxygen too. The disease occur when our cells are not getting enough oxygen, and we oxygen our cells with good food and with water and with our hormones producing properly. So it's a whole concept. We can see our body through the specific disease. Like Dr. Sebi says, there is only one disease and there is only one cure. That's it. Life is simple. When you start to see many complex things, details, you can be sure that it's the system putting inside your head. They create plenty of problems and intricate problems that you can't be aware of your real problem. There is a quote from Hippocrates, who is the father of medicine, that says, if you are not your own doctor, you are a fool. We have to be our own doctors. You must have the sovereignty over your body, over your mind. We have to take our ownership, extreme ownership over all aspects of our life. So if you need oxygen in intracellular level and inside our lungs to function, what's the worst thing that we can do? It's put a fucking mask over your face, over your mouth and your nose. You start to inhale carbonic gas. A child knows this is bullshit. And I see adults walking in the streets, almost everyone walking with masks. It's like I see zombies. It's like the Sixth Sense movie. I see zombies. How often do you see them? All the time. I see zombies all the time in the streets. They are mental slaves. They are just obeying something. They are obeying orders from this unscrupulous elite. This elite wants to depopulate the world. It's written in the Georgia Guidestones. It's the first mandament of Georgia Guidestones. Keep the population around 500 million inhabitants. You see, they want to depopulate the world. And they plan to do this with all this that I'm talking to you, but now through the vaccines. These vaccines for the coronavirus are much worse than the other ones that I already told you. They have the potential to mutate your DNA, and they are putting trackers inside these vaccines. A lot of people are waking up for this. I see in the internet, and people gathering together, and there are many people who are awakening about this already. But the majority of the people around the world, the mental slaves, asking for the vaccine. They say that only when the vaccine come out that this pandemic will end. They are not understanding anything about this New World Order implementation. They are implementing this dictatorship, this communism, this forced communism. The communism is one of these arms of the New World Order, this global elite, this chaos government, this invisible government. It has many names. You can call it whatever you want, but it's the same agenda. So we have to be aware of this United Nations and World Health Organization, World Hoax Organization, actually. So, yeah, I said a lot about this. I gave a big picture of what I discovered. I'm not asking you to believe what I say. I'm asking you to open your mind for what I'm telling to you and do your own research. We have to be sovereigns. That is what is lacking on the world right now. People are too dependent on rulers, but these rulers wants to fuck everyone. So this is the message. Hope you do your research. If you have some questions, you can write here. I'll try to answer. I hope this ends well for us. I'm a realistic being, so I see some troubles around the corner. We are in a war, a spiritual war, an information war, a mind war, and we have to gather our warriors. We have to wake them up. We have to help our family, our friends. So this is a wake-up call for everyone out there, and we are together in this battle. That's the message. I see you, and may the force be with us, right? The real force, the force of the light. See ya.